Today, I want to share with you the number one question I get from coaches about playing pressure defense. And here it is. Can you play pressure defense if you have a less athletic team? And the answer to that is yes, you can. Most of the time, my teams are the less athletic teams. It doesn't mean that we don't work the hardest. It just means that we don't have the best athletes if you were to compare player to player. When I was at the college level, we could recruit players, things were a little different, but I can't tell you that every time I walked on the floor, we had the most athletic team. And in high school, I know that we don't have the most athletic team all the time because I just get to pick from the players that come out for the team. We're a small school. We don't have a huge community to pull kids from. We don't have a ton of athletes. We get 20, 22 kids who try out for the team, and I have to choose the most skilled / athletic players I can. And that doesn't always mean that we're going to be more athletic than every other team who steps on the floor for a game. So I know that you can play this. We've played it with a lot of success, and I'm going to give you those reasons why I believe it's a way to play with all 5 players playing pressure defense. Not just one player playing it, but all 5 working in unison to try to give yourself an advantage. So we'll look at it from a team perspective here first. The 3 big reasons, okay, so these are kind of the big key reasons that we like to play pressure defense. As a team, we want to get the ball out of the primary player's hands. So whether it's a best player or it's primary decision maker's hands, we want the ball to go into somebody else's hands so that they have to make a decision, so they have to make a play. So when all 5 players are kind of on the same page, they know the game plan, pressure defense is extremely effective getting it out of one player's hands or forcing that one player into some really tough decisions or shots. And we get it into other people's hands who aren't quite used to, carrying that burden or making those big plays. The second thing, as a team, we want to force tough shots and tough passes. We want to put the other team in a bind to do things that they're not used to doing so that they're taking shots that are off balance or that they don't normally take. If we know a player likes to catch and shoot, we need to make sure that they put the ball on the floor and they try to shoot off of the dribble. If we know a player likes to go left, we need to try to position that either so we can get a trap when they go left or we can get them to go to their right hand. But it's all 5 players understanding what the rules are and being able to go out and to accomplish the goal that we have. The third thing is we want to get a team out of rhythm. And this is, what is the game plan of the team coming into it? If we know they like to swing the ball around the top of the key, we need to make sure that we deny that swing pass. If we know they want to get it into the post, we need to make sure we're fronting the post. So we're looking for tendencies within the team's offense that we need to try to take away, and then we're game planning our pressure defense to take those things away. But again, it's not one player, it's all 5 players trying to do that. Now, from a player's perspective, what is nice about playing pressure defense or having a system, and here's what I like, is the players know their responsibilities. So in the system that we run, we force to the baseline, everybody knows what they should be doing, where they should be going, and it's really easy to tell if something needs to be tweaked because there isn't a lot of questions that need to be answered. It's just reacting and working hard. The second thing is players know they aren't on an island. They're not going to be out there, and I want to share just a little bit more with you here in a second about this, but they're not out there doing it all by themselves. It's not just up to them. It's up to the players who are on the help side. It's up to the players who are going to trap. It's up to everybody to do their role. So when they know the other players have their back, they're going to get up more aggressively. They're going to have a mindset of playing pressure defense. Even if they're not the most athletic person out on the floor, they know there are others there to help them, and that makes a huge difference. And then finally, the third one for players is they're used to playing against pressure. Now, when they're used to playing against pressure, that means when teams come and pressure them, we're ready for it. So it doesn't rattle us. A lot of times when we go up versus an opponent and we know that their defense is a little bit more laid back, kind of more of a pack line style of defense, we're not going to see a ton of pressure. And then we go up versus an opponent that's really going to pressure us and is going to make us put that ball on the floor and do some different things. Well, we do that in practice all the time. So the first game didn't matter, it didn't bother us too much anyways because we had time to react and to do some different things. The second game didn't bother us too much either because we're used to doing that. So I think that you can prepare. It's much easier to kind of go away from pressure and to play well than it is to play a style of defense in practice that allows for a lot of time, and now all of a sudden your opponent will let you have that much time. They're applying so much pressure, you're not used to it. Well, we're used to the pressure. So our players offensively are ready to go no matter what defense is thrown at us. Now, I said I wanted to share real quick with you about they know they aren't on an island. And this one has really been big for us. If we have a player on the wing and we're asking X2 to play straight up or play butt to the basket, so butt's going all the way to the basket, this player with the ball has a 50% chance at going to the right, and they've got a 50% chance at going to the left. That's a whole lot. If this kid is not as athletic as player 2 with the ball, that's a huge thing because the offense always has the upper hand. They know what they want to do with it, and now you've got a player who's not as athletic trying to defend that person. That's really tough because they don't know which way they're going to go. Now, with the style of defense that we play, we have the player get up on the high side, so the high foot towards half court line, and we're going to play them so they can go 80% to the baseline and 20% into the middle. So we're really inviting them to go to the middle. Why? Or to go down to the baseline and not into the middle. Why is that? Because we know this is where our help side players will be. We know that if they drive here, we've got somebody that's going to come out and help trap right here. We know that if they try to go to this side, that we've got players that are denying that pass up top. So they're helping us make sure the ball doesn't go back to the top. We're positioning ourselves to not allow them to get to the top. So we've got two people working together. But if this kid is less athletic and they're allowing 80% down to the baseline, most of the time the ball handler is going to take it down there. And this kid knows they can apply pressure. They know the player is going to go baseline, but they also know that there's going to be help there. There's going to be a trap there. So when you're less athletic and you're playing within a system, you know that you can get up and apply a lot of pressure because when that player goes that direction, you're still working hard, but you've got help that's built in that now you're trying to do the things we talked about over here. We're trying to get the ball out of the primary player's hands. We're trying to force tough shots and tough passes, and then we're trying to get a team out of rhythm, but we're doing it together. And when all five guys really start to believe, or all five players really start to believe in each other and in the system that they're running, when they know the rules and they're ready to compete every single play, then we've got a chance to win a lot of games. So, Coach, those are the reasons I love playing pressure defense. Those are the reasons from a player perspective that I think psychologically we can get up and play pressure defense at a high level even when we're a less athletic team.